They dedicate years of their lives to serving our country, but some veterans can struggle to find jobs once they return to the civilian world.
It's why a company called J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling was started to give veterans and their families a place to work and continue with the military way. When you spot one of them on the streets, it's a message spelled out loud and clear. Nikki Kimbleton shows us what this J-Dog truck represents inside and out.
It's a busy and a tough day on the job for Mike Getka and his crew, but these three are used to working hard.
We have some appliances that we're going to remove, some old shiplap wood. So just removing it from the house here.
The loads are cumbersome and heavy, but it is nothing compared to what they used to do for a living. Each served in the military and two have been in war zones. Now they work for J-Dog Junk Removal, a company that makes it its business to hire military veterans and their families.
I was in the Navy 21 years. What I love about J-Dog being veteran owned and operated is you're still working with that military personnel that I'm used to.
Personnel like Rob Dennis and Mike Hare. Each own a local J-Dog franchise. Rob served 8 years in the National Guard, Mike 22 years in the Navy. They both agree there's just something different about hiring vets, and customers notice.
We've all gone through the same thing together, whether you're in the Army, the Navy, the National Guard, or the Marines. There's a thread that binds all of us together, and it's, especially for veterans who've been out for a few years, when they get back, and they start working for J-Dog, I think that's one of the biggest things that they respect.
And when you're working in situations like these, you can handle almost any condition a civilian job throws your way.
We're here putting in long days and doing a lot of manual labor, lifting things that could weigh up to 400 pounds. But when you look at it from the perspective of, I survived doing these different things in a war zone, there's no way I cannot handle what I'm currently doing, and I'm able to help the community as I'm doing it.
And that brings us to the other part of J-Dog's mission. They aim to repurpose or recycle 60 to 80% of everything they collect. From this job, everything will be taken to a sorting center. Some of it recycled, much of it donated. Some pieces will even become pieces of art.
So we'll recycle everything, all the cardboard that'll get bundled. Any clothing or textiles will get bundled and sent overseas to countries that need them. We'll also be using all of the lumber will be repurposed. We just recently donated lumber to Haberjacks.
They also use their equipment and their time to help veterans in need. After Hurricane Matthew, a family lost all of their furniture. People donated to help, and J-Dog did the heavy lifting.
I went and picked those up and delivered those for free of charge to all parties, just to be able to help that family out.
It's a special mission to operate with respect, integrity, and honesty. Those are the principles this business was founded on. And that's certainly anything but a load of junk. There are currently 150 J-Dog Junk Removal franchises in the U.S. 2 are here locally, and both are hiring. In fact, we're told the St. Augustine office is looking to double its staff because business has been so strong. If you'd like more information on J-Dog's mission to serve the community, as well as fellow veterans and their families, you'll find direct links inside this story on the homepage of news4jax.com. Nikki Kimbleton, Channel 4, the local station.
Really excited about this next story. It really is just not something that you hear of every day, right? Someone giving the gift of life to someone they don't even know.
A local veteran who doesn't want to be called a hero, but he does want you to consider doing something out of your comfort zone to help someone else. He's about to have surgery for a perfect stranger.
I remember sitting at the table and the card was sitting here on the wall.
Nicholas Flores saw a card at a St. Augustine cafe.
Said a kidney for Allison.
Just a phone number to call. So he called and got the Mayo Clinic telling him how he could be the link to help save a local woman's life.
And I got an idea from a guy who wore a t-shirt at Disney World. And it said, I need a kidney. And he got one. And I thought, well, that's the way to go. You advertise.
65-year-old Allison Eklund. She put the card there. She was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease when she was 50. She started dialysis when she was 58. A daily, often painful, but life-sustaining regimen.
And I gave birth to 3 children and had natural childbirth with each one, and I would have gone through that over what the drain pain was.
After 7 years of dialysis and her health waning, she had to do something.
So I went and had shirts made, I had cards made, I had flyers made, I put everything out on Facebook. I thought I'm going to glut the whole nation.
She got some offers to sell her a kidney, and relatives offered to help, but they weren't a match. And there's the worry about a genetic link to her disease. She was losing hope when Nicholas Flores reached out to her, and she wasn't even sure he was for real.
I'm like, yeah, well, we'll see, you know. And then little by little, I could tell he was very sincere. And then when we met, I knew there was no doubt in my mind that he was all in, as he calls it.
Another Allie.
Kidney Allie, yeah. So my Allie, we have my beautiful bride, Allie, and now we have Kidney Allie. So 2 great women in my life.
His wife, Allie, the mother of their 4 busy young boys, was a bit stunned at first.
After she talked to me about it and we prayed about it and we learned from Mayo Clinic about the safety and everything that's been done over the last 60 years of transplant, she was like, oh, I think I want to donate a kidney too.
So the testing began to see if he could be a match. Everything was a go until...
There was a test that came back and basically said that there was something in her blood that just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for compatibility for me to donate directly to her. And I was crushed. I was upset because at that point, I wasn't letting down a stranger, I was now letting down a friend. I turned to the only thing I knew what to turn to, and I prayed about it. And luckily, there's a program at the Mayo Clinic called Paired Donation.
Paired donation is like a chain with the 3 Mayo clinics across the country allowing those willing to be living donors to be matched with Mayo patients in need. In this case, Nicholas and Allie were the missing link to complete a 12-person chain of donors and recipients. No simple thing, but as he puts it, they chose a different route to get Allie a kidney.
I'm happy because so many other people are benefiting as well. So you don't want to be the only glitch in the chain and mess it up for everybody else, you know. And I wouldn't turn back now for nothing.
And I think that if this donation, this small act of kindness towards a stranger, I think that if this can take off for people in whatever their ways are, this world would be so different.
Small act of kindness.
I mean, it's relatively speaking, I suppose it's larger than dropping a 20 in a plate on Sunday. But again, I believe that in this season in my life, I've been given an opportunity.
For Allison Eklund, a new kidney equals life, freedom from dialysis, and a new family to cherish.
The first time I came here, I met these little boys. One of them, Carson, I think it was, came over to me and he said to me, I'm so glad my daddy's going to give you his extra organ so you don't have to die. He said that to me and I broke it down and started crying and we were hugging. I know a lot of people in my lifetime and I've only met one Nicholas Flores. I mean, honestly, they're not a dime a dozen. They're very rare.
Very rare. And now he's sending a message to all of us of selflessness, to listen to your heart and follow your faith. And Kent Nicholas texted me, and he is in his Mayo Clinic room right now. He's watching, and he's given the thumbs up for tomorrow. A life-changing day for both him and Allie, and we'll be following them both through their recovery and then into the next chapter.
Yeah, thumbs up to you as well as you're getting ready for this surgery.
So exciting.
So Mary, you're talking about this cafe that just happened to go to and just happened to, in that morning, find this card that said, a kidney for Allison. Really, this is a man of faith. He's calling it divine intervention.
He said that more than once. Divine intervention. And Leroy's Cafe is special to both of them now. In fact, Allie's family pulled together this silent auction to help Nicholas and his family. They held it at Leroy's, where they both met, where their lives collided. And Nicholas is a self-employed handyman. But now, he'll be out of work for at least 2 months, right? He won't be able to work. But the auction was to help cover the family's costs. And Nicholas and his wife, Allie, were both so touched by the response and the help, paying it forward over and over again. So if you would like to help the family, we have a link inside our story on News4Jax.
Yeah, very inspiring. So
Aren't they incredible?
He didn't want to be called a hero? Sorry. Hero.
I know, you really
Hero,
are.
Nicholas. Thank you.
And now it's Positively Jax, the new app that changes the way you donate things like furniture and clothing. It's launching here in Jacksonville. Resupply was designed by an Army veteran. And as Nikki Kimbleton shows us, it's getting rave reviews from generous donors and charities, saving some nonprofits hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Have you wanted to donate something, but you can't fit it in your car, or you just prefer to have it picked up for the sake of convenience? Well, with this app that you can see behind me, you simply take pictures of what you want to donate. You pick a charity. In this case, there are several to choose from. We'll choose St. Vincent de Paul. And within a minute or two, you can just schedule a pickup. How's Wednesday in the morning time? Yeah, it is that easy. Deirdre Clayton had a lot to donate, and she did it all through a free app on her phone.
China set with a dining room set and a living room and coffee table.
She had never heard of Resupply until she called this HabitJax Restore. They told her it was the new way they were scheduling pickups for donations.
Super easy. I mean, I didn't have to wait on the phone to talk to someone, then go back and forth with scheduling. I went on, scheduled the date was convenient for me, and they came out the day I requested.
Paul Tossi came up with the idea for Resupply when he was graduating from the United States Military Academy at West Point. Cadets had tons of stuff to donate at the end of each year, but it was often thrown away instead.
And after I commissioned as an officer and did my time in the Army, I realized, look, there's a big problem with people donating and getting rid of these household goods.
So Paul decided to make it easy. He created the Resupply app not only for people in the military who tend to move a lot, but for everybody, especially for charities. Rod, when people walk in, what are they most surprised to find here?
I think that everything is so clean and organized, you know.
Rod Borum runs the Restores for Habitat for Humanity in Jacksonville. He says this app is their game changer.
We didn't get pictures always of what we were picking up, and with this app, we're able to see pictures of the things that we are going to pick up from a customer, and that really does help because it gives us an idea right away. Is it something we can sell in our stores?
No more wasted trips to pick up junk, and even better, Resupply goes a step further for charities. It offers logistics to schedule pickups for them in a way that saves them time, fuel, and manpower. Any ballpark figures as to how much you might save by using this app in a year?
Well, we've done some knocking around with that number, and I think you know, it could be as high as in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Wow. So I think this is going to be great for us.
Donors like Deirdre will tell you that is true because her donations, they turned into income for HabitJax within a matter of days.
I'm here 2 weeks later, it's gone. So I guess someone purchased it and somebody who needed it has it. So I'm glad about that.
Right now, there are 5 charities on the Resupply app to choose from in Jacksonville, but I'm told they're going to be adding a lot more in a matter of weeks. Now, if a charity declines your items, it goes into a queue and another charity can pick it up. And they'll send you a digital tax credit for your donation. There's also round-the-clock support for donors. Resupply hires and trains military veterans to help you with any hiccups that you have along the way. Nikki Kimbleton, Channel 4, the local station.
What a great idea. This Donating Made Easy will soon be expanding beyond Jacksonville. Resupply is expected to be available in all major Florida cities by the end of this year and then nationwide by 2020. We've made it easy for you, too. We have direct links inside this story on news4jax.com. Just click on the community section.